and we are here for the final day of Flutter and Gemini workshop, and we will be wrapping up the workshop today. I hope the determination that you have showed attending all the 4 days of workshop has paid off and you have learned a lot. And today we'll be completing the projects. So I think we should start now. Devangana, over to you. Let's end this. And kudos to your determination as well, guys. Devangana, am I audible? Okay. Yeah. Um, link 1 and link 3. Okay, yeah. I think now you have the access. If you could just check once.
Yes.
Yes.
Am I audible? Hello.
Yeah, you are. Yes, you are.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Soumya.
Um,
Um, Good evening, everyone. I am Devangana, and I welcome you all to the fourth and the final day of the session, where we will be concluding our ongoing Flutter Gemini project that was initiated yesterday. So yesterday we saw two ways to integrate Gemini API with Flutter. First method was to create API calls using HTTP requests, and the second method, which we started using a package named Google Gemini to streamline the development process. So whatever we did yesterday has also been posted on the GDSC VESIT GitHub. The links were also shared in the groups. I hope everyone could access it. And if anything was missed out in the session, that could be, you could track it back, and hoping that everyone are on the same page. So this app, as I already discussed with you yesterday, has two sections. One for the text prompts and the other one for image and text prompts. So we have already covered the text prompt file part. Today we will be giving the final touch up to our app by completing the text image prompts, which will be internally using the Gemini Pro Vision model. And if time permits, we will make this task quickly at the end. Okay, so let me just present my screen. Um, no worries, you can connect your phone to your PC. Okay, so you can also open your project in Android Studio as well. Otherwise, you can use your Chrome to view the progress of your project. It's okay. You can also open the project in Android Studio, or you can attach your phone using a USB cable, and then you have to select your phone uh, uh, from that device में a drop down list एक drop down list आता है ना, so उसमें if you allow your development mode in your phone, then you can access your phone from VS Code as well. Otherwise, the last option is Chrome. Okay. So let's open our project. Okay, so this is the page, the screen that we created yesterday. I have also actually commented these things for your understanding, and the same codes have been already shared on the GitHub. Okay. So yesterday, what we let me just quickly give you a go through. So what we did yesterday was we created a list for text chat. For showing the loader, we used a Boolean variable. Then we declared two controllers for text and scroll, and we created an instance of this Google Gemini class, which is actually storing your API key, the Gemini API key, which we copied from MakerSutra website. And then we created the UI. Most part of the time actually went in creating the UI because we are using a package named Google Gemini. So Google Gemini is actually handling all the logic behind this. We are just going to pass on few constructors, and we have to just pass the query and get the value. That's it. And just the role that we have to mention the role and the text properties that we are willing to pass in and retrieve, and other things will be taken care of by the package. So if you want, I can explain you this function as well. So what we are doing whenever we are sending the text, okay, wait, let me also launch my emulator. I hope it's visible for everyone. Okay, let it launch. Okay, so here you can see we have an icon button, which is basically your send button. And this send button is triggering this function where we are passing a query, which is a mandatory field. That is, the keyword is required. The required field is query that we are going to pass in the form of text in this function. So this query has been passed in this function, and then we are using set state to rebuild the application's UI. So what we're doing, the text chat list that we created here. So we are going to insert our query there, and now our role is the user. We are the user who is passing the query inside the like making calls to the Gemini API. And then this instance, this Gemini instance of this Google Gemini class is basically uh, passing the query, and then we are giving some value. So that value is being again displayed on the screen. And talking about this loader, initially the loader is going to be false. That is on the initial screen. Okay, my emulator has launched. So initially the loader is going to be false. That is, we are going to see the send button first. And when we pass in our prompt, that time the loader will be displayed. So loader value will become true. And as soon as we receive a response, the loader will again become false. That is, again, the loader, circular loader will disappear, and we will see a send button there. That was basically it. So today what we are going to do, we are going to make the text image wala tab. Oh yes, so in the main what we did was the initial home page will be divided, the initial screen will be divided into two parts. One will only deal with text prompts, and the second side will deal with text and image prompts. So here we are taking a case where we can't send a request to the API until and unless we pass in or select any image. Now this image selection will be of two types. First image selection is basically we can pick a image from our gallery, and the second way is we can open the camera inside our app and click a photo, and against that photo we can give a prompt. So these are the two methods that we will use for our text image uh, side. Okay, my app is still not launched, so let's do one thing. Meanwhile, let's add few packages that will be required today. First package is okay. Let me also open this. Come to this site. This site, uh, pub.dev. Third, we'll share the resources in the group later. Okay, come to this site, pub.dev. Has everyone got it? The site. So this site basically gives you all the packages that we can use in Flutter. So the first package that we will require is image picker. Image picker. This package. So what image picker does is basically it selects your image from your gallery or whatever device you are using. So the images stored in that particular device will be selected using this package. So we will require this. Just copy this. Here you can see this copy icon. Just copy it from here and open your puffspec.yaml. And wherever you see your Google Gemini package, just paste it below it and save it. Has everyone followed to this part? The name of the package is image underscore picker. Any doubts? Okay. So image picker has been added. The second package is camera. As the name suggests, we camera package is basically going to help you uh, access the camera from your app. It will help you capture images and videos, but today we are just going to deal with images for the simplicity. So here again, copy this and paste it in your perspec.yaml. Has everyone followed till this part? So camera has been added, and the third package that we will require is permission handler. So permission handler, we know that whenever we are installing any new app, let's say WhatsApp, it takes certain permission from the user, right? So user has to give the permission. Until and unless user gives the permission, you can't use that particular facility inside that app. So permission handler is going to uh, take permissions. And here, which permissions are we talking about? The permission to access your camera. So that's why we are using permission handler. Just copy it and put it in your postgre.yaml. Save it. So these are the three additional packages that we will require in our project today. I hope everyone has followed till this step. Okay, we'll wait for 2 minutes. If you have any doubt, let me know. These are the packages that we have uh, mentioned in a perfect.yaml so far. Okay, so I hope everyone has followed till this step. So let's start with our coding part. So one good thing is that we will be actually requiring most part of this text only wale file ka most of the part will be again utilized in our text with image. So shall I copy it? Okay, let's do one thing. Let's not entirely copy this. Let's take the scaffold part because it's going to remain same. There will be few changes which we will do while we are coding it. Okay, so now we are getting some errors because we haven't initialized these variables yet. So let's do that first. Okay, so first again we will be requiring um, a text chat. Here it is use text chat, but I won't use text chat. I will, let's say it is list, sorry, list um, list, let's say text and image chat. It's a list, and we will be replacing all the text chat with that image and what was that? Text and image, text and image chat. Okay, and we will also need one boolean for loading, which will be initially false. That is, initially we will be able to see the send button. Okay, then uh, we need we need to import our image picker, um, image picker dot dart, save it. Next thing we will import is our camera dot dart, and lastly we will also need permission handler. Okay, these three imports we will require. Also Google Gemini, because that is what we're using, Google Gemini package. These four packages needs to be imported. Take a minute, do this, then we'll go move ahead. I hope it's done importing these four packages. Let's move ahead. Now, what we'll do is we'll create a file type of variable which is image file. What is this image file? It is basically going to store your currently selected or captured image file. Okay, for file also we need another import, that is dart colon io, library for your file input and output operations. So we'll need this dart io. So from dart io we are getting this file data type, and we are initializing, not initializing, we are declaring an image file variable, which is going to store your image that you're going to select or capture using your camera or your from gallery. Okay. So next thing, okay, let me just do one thing. Let's go back to previous code, because we will be using text controller and scroll. So let's copy this as well. We will need it. So we have our text controller, which is basically going to manage your text inputs that you're going to uh, put in your text field, the uh, this text field, and your scroll is basically going to manage your uh, scrolling part. That is, it's going to move your screen to the latest text message. Okay. So what is the next? Okay. For now, let's comment this out. Okay. So what have we done so far? We have created a list for storing my text image chat. Text and image together they are one chat, okay, like one prompt. Loading for my loader, circular loader, to display it or not. We are going to see it from this. Then a file which is going to capture, like store my image file. Then we are going to have my text controller and scroll controller. Okay. The next thing is we need to manage our camera as well, and we have already imported a camera package. So let's take late camera controller. This camera controller is coming from camera package. Yeah. So this camera controller is basically going to manage my uh, camera that I'll be using inside my app. Okay. Next is we are going to also make a list of the available cameras that we have. So this is basically going to store a list of all the available cameras, but we are actually going to use only the first camera that will be initialized. We'll talk about this later. Then we will need uh, an instance of image picker, that is this, that we imported image picker, to pick the image from our gallery. Okay. Now we will also require, we also have a feature in our app which will allow us to preview the image. The image that was shared as a prompt, we can also preview it in our chat. So basically tapping on that image, we can see what image we actually shared. So let's say it is image preview. Cool. So far, these are the variables that will be required, we will be dealing with. Okay. Then what is the next step? We are going to make a Gemini object from this Google Gemini package, and we need an API key. This is the mandatory field. So yesterday we had created we had mentioned our API key here, and my API key is lost. So let me go back to MakerSuite. And paste it here. So that my API key is on a separate file, and from here I can call my API key Gemini API key dot API key and a semicolon. So basically my Gemini, this instance, this object has been initialized, and my API key has also been passed in this constructor. Okay. So next thing that we are going to do is okay, if we are going to take a minute break. If you have followed till here, let me know. I don't know how many of you are facing this issue here. If you are also facing this issue, don't worry. The path has been provided here. You just need to go to this path, and you have to set your min SDK version to 21. So what it is saying, Android app. Inside your app folder, there is a build.gradle file. There, you will have this min SDK version. You have to set it to 21. Okay. I hope everyone has followed till this step, whatever we have initialized and declared here. Is there any doubt so far? No doubts? Okay, so let's do one thing before writing the logic. Let's build the UI first. So yesterday we had done, this was our input field, and this was the button, the send button. So today what we need another two options, one for camera and another for the, gallery. So we have to create, okay, so we already have row. So inside row, the first child was this, the text field, and the second child was this icon button, the send icon button. So after the text field, we need Hello, am I audible? Sorry, there was some issue with my net. Is my screen visible? Yeah, thank you. Okay, so far, so I was saying that um, today okay, so yeah, uh, yesterday whatever UI we made, we had two parts. One was the text field and the second was the icon button. The icon button, basically the send button. Okay, so today we will be uh, also designing another two buttons. That is, first button is going to be a camera button, which will help you to access the camera inside the app, and the second button is going to navigate you to the gallery. So we will be designing the two buttons now. So the first button, let's say it is going to be your camera button. So icon button. Let's keep the on pressed function as of now empty. And in the icon, we are going to call the icon widget. Icon widget. Inside the icon widget, we will need the icons list, that is this list. So icons dot. Let's see if there is anything related to camera. Okay, I mean, this looks good, I think. Uh, okay, let's go back to this. This is fine, I think. So I chose camera alt round. You can choose anything, whichever feels right to you. So I chose this and I am missing a comma here. Okay. So my onPress function as of now it is empty and I have an icon property where I have initialized my icon, the icon that will be shown, that is this camera alt rounded. Okay. So what else do we need here? So okay, let's do one thing. Let's put this in an async function. Okay, let it be. Let's put it here. Now let's see what we can do in the onPressed function. Let's do a show modal. Like, uh, what is a modal? Modal is basically a type of slide-in, uh, just like your menu, the side menu that you click on it and the slide menu slides in your screen. Similar to that, we have a bottom modal sheet. So it slides in to your screen from the bottom. So we can use that here. This show modal bottom sheet. So it requires context. So let it be the context, and here in the builder we require build context. Build context. Previous context so far. Okay, so it requires we need to return something. So let's return a column with column takes children. Okay. So inside children, what is a column? Column is the type of widget or layout where all the children are placed vertically, one below the other, right? So there, let's put in a container. Is my screen visible to everyone in all the meets? Please someone confirm this. I hope now my screen and my voice is in all the meets. Okay, yeah. So what we did basically in the on-pressed function of the icon button that we are going to create for the camera. What we are planning is we are going to slide in a container from the bottom, which will contain the camera feature inside it. That container that is sliding in from the bottom. Is it due to my net that I'm getting kicked out of the meets? Okay. Just let me know if my screen is not visible or if I'm not in the meet. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So what this show model is basically going to do is present your camera inside a container. That container is going to slide in from the bottom of the screen. So far, what we did, we initialized the show model widget, and that is going to take a context and a builder property. Inside the builder property, we are returning a column. So in that column, we have the first child as container, and the container will have the width of the entire phone. And if you know what media query does in web development, the similar widget we have in Flutter as well. So we are going to use media query, which is going to take the entire screen ka size. So here we are mentioning it in the width. So it will take the entire width of the phone or device wherever you are running it. Context dot size dot width. Dot size dot width. Okay, and the height is going to be, we are going to use media query only. Just replace this with height, and we are going to take not the entire height but a part of it. So we are going to take a ratio. I think 0.35 would be good, decent. And we are also going to pass a child property where we are going to have this camera preview constructor, wherein we will be passing our, yes. Okay, now I'm audible. Uh, okay. Okay, should I repeat it again? In show models, basically it will contain a container. That container is basically going to slide from the bottom inside your screen, and in that screen, the bottom container will show you or will present a camera view, basically an in-app camera inside your app. So this camera preview is basically coming from your camera package that we have passed on the top. So in that camera, we need a controller. So we are going to pass the camera controller that we have initialized here. This this camera control variable. So we are going to pass that here, and then let us also have, now since we have a column, so this container will contain your camera view. That is, जैसे कैमरा खोलने से everything is dynamic, right? Whatever the environment is, you're seeing it inside your camera, inside your device. So ये container बस उतना ही part दिखाएगा camera वाला. Then since we are using a column, and in column क्या होता है? Every elements are placed one below the other. So अभी ऊपर वाला container will give you the camera view. उसके नीचे we need a button which will help us to click the image. So and inside the child, let's keep a text there saying capture. Yeah, I think capture is fine. I don't want to stretch it out. Capture looks fine. Okay, and what will be the function here? Hmm. So we have a navigator widget or function, should I say, navigator dot. We are going to keep a what how should I put it? So when I press this now, this button, it'll capture the image. So whatever we were seeing before that will be popped, and we need a, we haven't mentioned that here. So we will be using a capture image function, which we haven't made yet. So let's do that first. We have declared the capture image function here. Okay. So let's also make the capture image main function. Okay. So what is the idea of this capture image? Capture image करने के लिए first we will need the permission, right? Permission of the camera कि मैं access करूँ कि नहीं करूँ. So the idea is कि capture image जो function होगा, it will capture an image using your camera, which will be inbuilt like inside your app. But before doing that, it checks if the camera is initialized. Initializing is a very important thing. It has to be initialized first, the camera. And if it is not initialized, then the method is like it will first initialize it and then we'll move further. And this is going to be an async type of function. So I hope everyone knows the concept of async and await. If not, let me quickly give an analogy for that. Let's imagine you have a friend who is really good at drawing, and you ask your friend to draw maybe a flower for you, and your friend agrees, but he says that it will take some time. So async, the word async acts like कि you're telling your friend कि okay, take your time, but let me know. Like I'm not going to wait for you. I'm not going to wait for you. I'm going to do my thing. But let me know when you are finished. When you finish with your drawing. And along with async, we have a word called await. So what await does is basically await is like telling your friend ki I'll be doing my thing, whatever I just said. I'll be doing my thing. You draw your picture, whatever you're doing, and when you're done, give it to me, and then I'll look at it. So basically, the concept of async and await is basically it helps you to continue the thing while you're also waiting for something to finish. So I hope this made some sense. So what we are doing is we are going to use a future type here, which is not specifically going to return any specific value like your number, your string or anything like that. So your future it is going to return a future void, and the function name was capture image if I'm not wrong. Yes, capture image. So capture image, which is going to be of async type. Okay. And what we will be doing is the first condition will be if the camera has been initialized or not. So let's skip an if condition, and if the camera controller, camera controller, uska value if it is not initialized, then it will first await till the camera has been initialized. Okay, so again we need to create another function there. Well, let's comment out this as of now. Basically, here we will be initializing the camera. Okay, we'll come to this later. Now, if is done, now again we need to check another condition that if this camera controller has been initialized, then we need to capture that image. So let's again put it in a try catch block. Try catch and E. Here we'll just print a statement कि error है, which will be $e, dollar and any variable. This is the way we declare in Dart. So my catch is ready. Now let's frame my try. So what will happen is if my camera has been initialized, then we will capture the image. Now we have a file type X file. This is the file type that will be captured, which will be again await, and it will be taken by my camera controller, and there is a function take picture. This is coming from again my camera package that I imported here. So it has an inbuilt function take picture. So what is happening? We are clicking this button, the capture button. Whenever we are clicking this capture button, it is triggering this function, this async function. So first it checks if the camera controller has been initialized or not. If it is not initialized, then it will invoke another function, which we will talk about it. Another condition is that if the camera controller has been initialized, then we are going to capture that image. Basically, take picture function will be triggered using the camera controller, and that will be stored in my captured image variable. Has everyone followed till this part? Okay, another line of code, and then we will be done with this function. We need a set state, which will rebuild the UI of the app. So here, the image file, if you can see here, the image file, this file, which is basically going to store my captured and selected images. So this image file will be initialized with the captured image, captured image, and whatever the path it has stored, that will be saved here. Let me also write it here. Capture image using camera. So this is the function. So let me just again give you a quick summary of this function. So it's saying what is future void here. Future void is saying that this method might take some time. So but it won't give any specific value. This void means it won't return any specific type of value, like it won't return any word or number or anything like that. It's like I'm going to capture an image, but it won't return anything specific. Then what it is an async type of function, and it checks first कि camera जो है वो initialize हुआ है क्या. If it is not, then it will first initialize the camera. Otherwise, it will come to this block and it will capture the image, whatever image that मतलब जो भी image हम लोग click कर रहे हैं, that will be stored in captured image, and then while we are doing a set state, that is rebuilding the UI. Meanwhile, the image file वाला जो variable था, उसमें we are going to store whatever we captured. Okay. So this was basically the logic of this capture image वाला uh, function. Has everyone followed till this step? Let me know if there is any doubt. Let's wait here for a minute. Let me know if there is any doubt. Or is there anything that you want me to repeat? X file is you can think of it as a file type. Yeah, wait, 1 second. Yeah, so basically, um, wait a second. You're talking about this? Okay. Um, we have just kept it separate because let's say if there is no, I'll actually cover this later because here when you see the initialized camera ka code now you'll understand why we have kept it different. Let's say if the permission was like the permission giving wala part will be actually initialized here. So so let's say that permission was not given. So camera initialize होगा ही नहीं. So camera initialize नहीं हुआ तो वो पहले permission वाला block दिखाएगा, right? And then it will move further. Um, so we don't like in the specific like code, the permission is checked in a distinct manner. So if the permission is denied, there is no need to proceed with the camera initialization. Na? You will actually understand this part when we come to this. Don't worry. So, okay, I hope everyone has followed till here. I'll tell about this part. You'll know why we have kept it different. Okay. So now let's uncomment this part and let's uh, write the function for this. Okay, so again, this is also going to be a future void. Okay, initialize camera, and then it is again going to be an async type of function. So here now we are going to deal with the permission one part. So the first condition is basically whenever we are initializing the camera, we are first going to uh, take the permission of the user if we can have the access to the camera or not. So let's take there is a permission method to camera which will be of a request form, and if it is granted then only we'll proceed. So when the camera permission has been given, then only we'll proceed with the initialization part. Now, let's say we have a cameras variable that is, this list cameras, and here we will be seeing that if we have any available cameras. Now, since it is an async function, we will be doing an await here. So first it will check if we have any available cameras. If we have, it will put it inside this cameras list. Okay. Let's put this inside a try block. And again, we are just simply going to print something here. Initializing the camera and the error, whatever error that came. And okay, so now that we have our available cameras, now it will check if the cameras have been initialized, that is, if it is not empty, if it is not empty, that is, my cameras list is not empty, that is, it at least has one camera. Uh, so there we are again going to set up this camera controller variable using the camera controller constructor, where we will be first setting our cameras list का initial first जो भी camera हमें मिलेगा, so we will initialize, will pass that in this constructor. And there are few other things that will require, let's say, resolution of the camera. We'll set it at max. And there is another property which is image format group. It basically describes the output of the raw image format. As of now, just know that it is a format of image. So we are going to set that as image format. Image format group dot u. We are going to be using this format. Don't मतलब इतना इसके बारे में भी मत सोचो. Just know that कि ये कुछ format है which we are using here. So what is this? Again, initialize कर रहे हैं. अगर camera permission is granted, then we are moving ahead. Otherwise, where is this error? If statement ending. Okay, यहाँ पे we'll just print the camera has been denied. Permission has been denied. Permission denied. Okay. So if the camera permission has been given, then ये block execute होगा. Otherwise, we'll just print कि permission denied. Okay. So then, if camera permission has been granted, then we'll put it in a catch block. Try block. This may we are initializing our cameras वाला जो list है, उसमें we are making sure कि camera is available or not. And then, if the cameras this list is not empty, then we are initializing the camera controller, this variable. This may we are passing the first camera, whatever we got in that list, the first camera, उसमें resolution set कर रहे हैं and एक image format set कर रहे हैं through camera controller constructor. Okay. Has everyone followed till this step? Okay, done. Shall I shall I proceed? Okay. I hope everyone has followed to the step. Okay. Sorry. Moving further. Okay, there is another thing that we need to do is before initializing the camera, we need to first um okay, there is a concept of init state function and dispose function. It is a part of widget lifecycle. So what these functions do is basically these methods are provided by this state class. This class that is getting extended. The state is a class, so that state class provides you with some methods that two of them are init state and dispose. So what init state does is whenever we are calling any stateful widget. Okay, so that stateful widget is inserted into the widget tree um, for the first time. Like whenever this widget is getting used, it will for the first time it will be uh, added into that widget tree. So here we are going to use the init state to ensure that the camera is set up before the widget is displayed. Okay, so oh sorry, before that we need to place an override there. override and init state. And inside this init state, we have a super constructor that is init state and your initialized camera. Initialized camera. This will just ensure that the camera is set up before the widget is displayed. Okay, like whenever you go to the second tab, it will first ask you to grant you the permission. So the camera will be initialized there and there. So whenever you switch to the second tab, for the first time, whenever you're using the app, first you have to initialize the camera. First you have to give the permission, then only you can, use the camera wala function in your screen. And okay, init state is basically your used for one-time initialization. Okay, so now that my camera has been this has been added to my widget tree. Now my initialized camera has also been used. We also need to dispose it. So dispose is another override. Dispose is another method that is provided by state class, which is again part of your stateful lifecycle, which is used to remove that added widget which was added to your tree. Now it will be removed. That so that removal happens at your dispose method. Um, void dispose, void dispose, and this. So now my camera controller that I had uh, that was actually handling my camera everything would be disposed, and here we will be also calling the super constructor here. Dispose. That's it. So what my dispose is doing, it will basically remove all the resources that were held by my camera controller. Camera controller is managing my camera का जो भी functionality है, uh, whatever it is managing regarding the camera, जो भी resources उस camera ने पकड़ के रखा है, it will be released when when it comes here, when the dispose method is invoked. So it ensures that the resources are released properly when the widget is no longer needed. So first we'll initialize my initialized camera ये वाला पूरा block where we'll ensure the camera has been set up या नहीं. Then initialize camera, which is actually required in a capture image. Before capturing image, your camera needs to be initialized. That is, your permission needs to be permission granted होना चाहिए. And then when your camera usage is done, that is your camera control is no more needed, it will be disposed. So resource management, efficient resource management में ये dispose and instead use हो रहा है ऐसा बोल सकते हैं. So has everyone followed till this step? क्या हुआ क्यों हुआ? Init state होगा to initialize the camera function. जिसमें permission granting वगैरह होगा. Available cameras है कि नहीं, अगर है तो it will be initialized in cameras list. उसका भी जो first camera हमें मिला है वो इस constructor में pass होगा और ये सब यहाँ पे store होगा camera controller variable में, which is getting used here in capture image. So that camera controller is going to ultimately take the picture and store it in a capture image variable. Capture image variable का जो भी path है that will be set in image file. Image file is storing your image जो भी image captured या stored है in your gallery that will be stored in your image file. Okay. Has everyone followed to this step? So future is basically where it is like, do you know the concept of promise? Future का मैं एक analogy देती हूँ. Let's say you have a box that contains some resin, but you don't know कि क्या result है. You don't know what is inside it. So it is like, okay, I'm going to do something, but when I'm done, I'll let you know. And that is your future type. So future type is again, by default, it will use your async and await for like concept. Shreyas, I hope that answered your question. Okay, let's complete our UI. So, Abhitav, whatever what we did is basically we completed our camera button, icon button. Let's see if it is here or not. Let's restart it. Okay, we have our camera. See, when I'm first time using it, it asks me for the camera permission. So let me allow it. Okay, let me open this. Okay, so now I'm not getting any preview here. We'll get it soon. Okay, so now we got our camera. Oh, by the way, this is what is modal bottom sheet. This thing, the container that is sliding in into your screen from the bottom is basically your modal bottom sheet. Okay, so what are we aiming for? This container is going to have your camera का पूरा preview. Okay. Before that, okay, let's complete this part and then we'll move to that. So now we have successfully implemented the camera wala part. We also require the gallery ka part. So we are again going to make an icon button. Inside your icon button, again, let's keep it empty first. Icon widget, icons list, dot gallery. Okay, we don't may um photo. Okay, let's use this. Let's keep this function the bottom. Okay. So in this function, I mean in this onPressed property, um, it is going to be of async type. Wait. Okay, this was also supposed to be async. My bad. So this is also going to be async. And here, what you remember X file, right? X file is a type of file type. So now we are going to take that image that is okay. Let me declare here X file. Now we are not going to initialize anything, so we are going to use the nullable operator. Yeah, basically it can be null as well. So we are going to write that here, and we are going to put the await keyword, and we are going to what was the variable name that we had kept for the picker. So here, so now what is the aim of this part is basically we are going to select an image from our gallery. So we are going to use the picker object of image picker uh, class. The instance picker will be used to pick an image from the gallery. Pick the image. So it is asking me for the source. So here we are going to put the image source dot gallery. Cool. So here whatever image we are going to choose, it will be from gallery, and that image will be set inside image. Now we are again going to um, call the set state to rebuild the UI, and inside the set state, what we did in camera was we are going to uh, okay, we didn't do here. Basically, the image file. This image file is going to get initialized. So image file will have this image, and if it is not equal to null, it will check. If it is not equal to null, then it will give me that image ka path. Otherwise, it will return null. Simple ternary operator. If the image is not equal to null, then it will return the image, this image that we picked from gallery. Otherwise, it will return a null. I hope that's clear. So we have successfully, we will be able to successfully also pick our image from the gallery. Now we don't need to explicitly mention any function for this because we are using the package image picker, which is internally handling everything. So we don't need to write any function for this. Now the last part is a preview. Last part is okay. Before that, I want everyone to do one thing. Come to your Android folder here in the left hand side, all the files that you can see. Okay. So come to your Android. Inside your Android, come to app. Inside your app, there is an SRC folder. So go to that SRC. Now you will find three folders: debug, main, and profile. Go inside your main folder, and inside your main folder, you'll find an Android manifest file. So here we need to set permissions. Okay, wait. Let's wait here for a minute. If you have any doubts here, let me know. Cool. I hope everyone is clear with this part. This didn't have much things, to be honest. So, has everyone come to this file inside your Android, inside your app, inside your SRC, inside your main? There you will find a file android manifest.xml. So here we need to set certain permissions. What permissions? Firstly, we need the permission for external storage, to read our external storage, for our camera, and for internet. Um, so while I was testing this app in my when I was building this app, I faced some issues, and these permissions, when I set these permissions, I could actually overcome those problems. So that's why I think we require these permissions for that. So the first permission is use. You have to type users permission, then write Android colon name, which is equal to, in a double inverted commas, you place Android dot permission. Now till this part, everything is going to be same for all the three permissions that I mentioned earlier. So you can just copy this part actually. This entire part can be copy pasted. Okay, these three permissions. So what permission do I need first? First is in capital internet. The second permission is uh, read external storage. I hope this was the correct syntax. And the third permission is camera, for camera. Okay. And save it. Let's wait here for a minute. You can see the file path even here inside my Android app src main Android manifest. Let's wait here for a minute. Okay, I think I missed out this part. Here there will be a backslash, sorry, forward slash. I hope everyone has followed till this part. We are taking three permissions for internet, for reading the external storage, and the camera. Okay, moving ahead. So we have done this. It's hot restarted. Let's see what we get. Okay, now I have my gallery icon as well. Let's see what happens. Do I have any image here? Oh, I have. Okay, nice. Okay, so now I have selected it, but I am not able to see what image I have selected. So for that, we'll be mentioning a function. Okay, I think there is some doubt. Okay, wait, something here. No. Can you show the previous type? Okay, which part? Which part do I need to show in that file? Aditya? Okay. 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 So now, since you saw that we are not able to see what image I selected here, we will be constructing another function named preview. Okay. So it will it will be also of what type? Let's keep it as show image preview, and it will have your context here. And let's say um okay, before that I think we also, okay, before that we need to do something else. Okay, let's keep it at hold. My bad, I'm so sorry. Before that, let's do one thing. I had, yeah, I had commented out this part, which was basically my send function, which was being invoked here. So first, let's do one thing. Let's, okay, most part of it is going to be same, so I'm just copying this part. Okay. Just copy your query text that we created yesterday because it is related to your send function, so we will be requiring it. We'll just make some changes here. Let's not code it again because it will take a lot of time. So again, it will give some error in text chat. So here, what have we initialized with? Text and image chat. Okay. So replace it with text and image chat. So overall the structure is going to remain same. Just one thing that we need to add here is basically we'll be adding images. And also let's change the name of this function. Let's put it as query text and image. And it is going to take in two types of values, which is again going to be mandatory. That is, it is going to be prefixed with required file image and your query. Both of the things are required here. These parameters are required. These need to be passed on to the send function. So here, again, we'll be starting with our set state. Set state is basically again going to initialize a loader and your text and image chat, where we are going to add a query. Along with query, we also need another key, that is image. And inside your image property or key, we are going to pass in that image variable that we have passed in the parameter. Similarly, again, here this function will be changed to generate from text and images. Yesterday I had mentioned this, that we'll be using this function today, which is going to deal with your text and image prompts. So we'll be using this, and this requires you to pass in query as well as your image property, which is your image variable. That is, this query and image will be passed here. And then again, whatever the thing was, it will return a value, where again we are using setIt to rebuild the UI, where again the loader will be initialized to false, and the list will contain your, it will be from Gemini's side. The value will be here for value.text, and in the image we will have, okay, in the image we will have a blank value. Okay, and in the error, again the same thing, because it is not going to return any image. Sorry, we are not aiming for any image to be returned. The user can send image as a prompt, but Gemini can't return any image here as of now. So we are going to keep it as null or empty. This string will be empty. The value is empty. Okay. And the scroll function that we did yesterday is going to remain same. So most part of the code is going to remain same. It's just the camera and gallery codes have been added here. And here another property that is being used, that is your image. Okay. So I hope everyone has followed till this step. This is the same code as yesterday. It's just we have made some modifications here. Other than that, everything remains same. Is there any doubt till here? I hope everyone has followed till this step. This function is taking in two values, query, image. Both are mandatory fields which are required. Now, in the first set state, the loader will be true because we have requested something to Gemini. So the loader will be true. And in the role, it's from the user, the query is going from the user, and there will be an image that will be passed. Right now, this is a mandatory field. Without the image, this won't work. But it will give you an error. So image and query both needs to be passed from the user side to Gemini, and then this Gemini instance is going to call this function which requires a query and an image. Again, you see there is the required field. This is the required field. In this function, if you hover on it, it will tell you that both of these fields are required. So that's why we are passing this query and image, and then whatever value that is coming, we are going to again use setstate to rebuild the app's UI, and the loader will be set to false, and that list will add on the response, whatever response we have got, and that's it. And the scroll to end will basically bring back the screen to the latest text message. That's it. I hope everyone has followed to this step. So here, what was the name of the function? Yeah, where did it go? Oh, okay. So here, the two mandatory fields were query and image. So the query would be whatever the text controller has taken in, the text controller dot text, and the second function, the second property that needs to be passed is the image, which is going to be this image file. Okay, so we are going to pass in this image file. It can be null. Okay, so now everything looks fine. My image that I selected from here. Otherwise, this capture image is going to, yeah, see this image file that is being captured in the camera. Otherwise, if I'm choosing gallery, then this image file, this will be passed in my image property, and the query, like the previous one, it will be passed to my query text image, and rest I already explained it, that it will process it in a similar way. Only the thing is that the function has been changed here, and an additional property that is being set here, image. Okay, so now we are going to finally uh, build our show image preview. Let me know if there is any issue till here. Where did it go? This. Let me know if there is an issue or any query. Okay, I think there is no doubt. Okay, so now what is the aim of this preview image is basically it will check if the preview image we had set it earlier here, image preview. Okay, so basically it will just check keep that image preview is not null, meaning that we have selected or we have clicked some picture, so that is basically indicated by preview image. So if the preview image is not null, then basically a full screen will be shown. That is basically we can tap on it and it will in full screen, or not full screen exactly, but in the entire screen it will show Push will basically push a new screen on, like, if let's take this as your bottommost element in the stack. You know what stack is, right? Like this plates ka pile. Okay, so the bottommost plate is your lowest element, bottommost element. So that bottommost element here is your this chat. So when I click on preview, so it will open up another screen over this page. So it will stack a new page on top of this page, and it will create a using this material page route. It will uh, create a new screen over here, which we are going to design using our old school method, that is using scaffold. So build context, build context. Scaffold. Inside the scaffold, we will have an app bar property. Inside the app bar property, we will use the app bar widget. Inside the app bar widget, this time we are not going to set any color, but wait. So we are not going to put any background color or anything. We are going to use another property that app bar has, that is actions. And actions are usually in the trailing side of the app bar, that is this side. On the rightmost side, we'll have some actions. Um, So, what are the actions? We can use an icon button here. What I want is basically when a page pops up on this where we can view the image, I want a cross button which will basically close. If I tap on it, it will close that screen for me. So here in the on pressed, I'll put navigator, which helps in navigating to various screens. So I'll use that navigator widget. Dot of context dot pop. So it will just pop my uh, uppermost layer, uppermost screen, and the icon I'll get an icons dot. Do I have anything close? So close, and curly brackets. This. Okay. So what is this actions? Actions is basically we are going to get some trailing options over here. We can put some actions in the rightmost side of the app bar. So I have used an action icon button, which will help me to close that particular preview screen. Okay, and um, so we have completed the app bar part, and in the body we will be displaying the image. So um, Let's say this is a image.file. Inside that image.file, we'll have the image preview, which can be of nullable type, and we will fit it using the box fit widget to contain it. Contain it basically as it will fit in inside the available space entirely inside it. Okay. Okay, let's wrap this with a gesture detector. Okay, wrap with widget. Has everyone followed till this step whatever we were doing here? Cool. Okay. So I want to wrap this image.file using this bulb icon that you find it on your VS Code. Wrap it with widget. Which widget do I want to wrap it with? There is a widget named as gesture detector. What does it do? Gesture detector, as the name suggests, it will detect some interaction or some gesture occurring on any element. So it has an on tap. Did you see that it has so many properties on it? On tap cancel, on tap down, on double tap. I'm sure it will also have on pressed, on long press cancel. So it has all those gesture type of properties. So we are going to use on tap. Inside on tap, we are going to place navigator again. Navigator dot off context dot context dot pop, and we will again wrap it with, that's the center. I want the image to be shown center. So if I tap on the image again, it will close close it for me. So this is my show image preview. Let's take a minute. Let's wait for a minute. If there is any doubt, let me know. Okay, are we good? Has everyone followed till this part? We need another last two steps and then the screen will be done. So, um, yeah, this. So here, if you remember last time, or let me show it here, this code actually belongs to this part, right? So what is this? The circle avatar is basically this. What is it taking? A child where the text and image chat. Okay, let's say the text chat, that is this text chat list. So in that role, it is taking the role, that is, these were the roles, right? User and Gemini. User and Gemini are the roles. So उसका जो first, उसका substring का 0 से 1 पे जो भी value है, that is your first initial letter will be shown in your circular avatar. Okay. The title is basically your role. The title is your role, and the subtitle is your text content, your text that is coming. Okay. So इतना हमने किया था. Now what we need to do is we need another uh, trailing property, and उस trailing मतलब जो ये जो text है उसके trail पे what are we going to show? We are going to show a preview image, the image that we selected or image that we clicked, that will be displayed over here. So here, again, let's go with the text and image chat list. There we are going to select the index, the the chat number that we are talking about, and then usme the image property. And that image, if it is null, if it is null, sorry, if it is empty, then it will not give any preview there. And if it contains, if it is not empty, that is, it is not empty string, then we are going to return a gesture detector there, which basically to जो भी इमेज हम सेंड कर रहे हैं वो इमेज यहाँ पे दिखेगा, एंड देर विल बी अ जेस्चर डिटेक्टर ओवर दैट इमेज. तो अगर हम उस पर टैप करेंगे तो हमें इमेज का एक प्रीव्यू दिखेगा इसी स्क्रीन के ऊपर. स्टैक में सबसे टॉप लेयर पे इसके ऊपर एक प्रीव्यू इमेज खुल जाएगा, which will contain an image and a closing button over on the top. And if I close that, तो फिर again I'll be taken back to the screen, the chat screen. So अभी gesture detector के अंदर we'll have an on tap function. Inside the on tap function, we will put a set state there. Inside the set state, we are going to use our image preview variable. Inside that, we are basically going to display our image. Okay. So we'll show that image, and it will also trigger that function show preview image. Yes. This may, okay. And then यहाँ पे we'll have a child यहाँ पे which will have that image sort of एक प्रीव्यू रहेगा, एक कंटेनर जैसा छोटा सा. सो हम उस पर उसका साइज सेट कर सकते हैं. सो व्हाट वी नीड इज अ टेक्स्ट एंड इमेज चैट का उस इंडेक्स का image and we are going to set its width to, let's say, 80, and let's restart it. Let's see if the preview is working or not. Okay, let me Flutter run it completely. is not. Okay, so now we can see the image when we have. By the way, the answer is correct. It is castor beans, but it should also display it here. Am I missing out something? Okay, yes, we have missed one part here. Um yeah, so here the on pressed basically. Okay, yeah, we will have another icon button. We will have a floating action button. Okay, we will have a floating action button where the image file, if it is not null, it will check. If it is not null, then there will be a small container. That is, whenever I'm selecting this picture from my gallery, or okay, I don't want to view it. When I'm selecting this, it should give me a preview here as well in a floating action button format. So we can put it inside one container. We can give some size and it will give me a small preview in that small container of that image. So let's put it in a container and give it some height, maybe 150. A child, that child will have image image.file, where the image file will be there, and if it is not there, then simply empty string empty string दिखाएगा. And let's also give it some and oh, this container will have okay, and let's give some margin. uh, Agent sets We only want from bottom, so let's set bottom to 80. Okay, so let's see what happens. See, now I can preview my image over here, and I can say how many. Let's see if it gives me the correct answer or not. Okay, now you can see that. Okay, is it 12? 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, okay, it is pretty accurate. You can see it gave me that it has 12 seats in the picture. Right. Okay, so now this image is staying here. We don't want that to happen. So in this on pressed, we are going to put another condition. That is, if the image file is null, then uh, we'll put a scaffold messenger, which will basically give me a message. Uh, Scaffold messenger dot of context. You need a context to show me a bar, a snack bar. So let's show snack bar. In that snack bar, we'll have snack bar, and the content would be if I have not selected the image file. Okay, so if there is no image file, then it'll return a text. Okay, please select a image. Please select an image, and otherwise it will return. Okay. Still okay. Okay, so far, does anyone have any doubt? We'll wait for 2 minutes. Does anyone have any doubt so far? Oh, about this. Where is the send function? Okay, so when we are clearing the text, let me just initialize that image file with null value here. So I think we'll get rid of this extra image that is being shown here. Let's check if it is working or not. Yeah. So we have got rid of that image that was stuck here. And here we can see a short preview. If we tap on it, okay, null check operator used on a null value. Okay, okay, okay. Hmm. Let's check if this solves the problem or not. I'm so sorry. We don't have an image file here. Image preview. Yeah. Okay, let's check this again for the final time. I think this should work now. This should be fine. Yeah, see. Now we can preview it. Now this screen that you're seeing is it has opened on the previous chat screen. So now if I tap on this cross, it will take me back to the previous chat. Okay. So and let's explore this camera as well. Okay, it is not giving me any value here. I don't know what is the issue with this. It should be fine, but let me check the capture camera as well. Actually, it should ask me for the permission as well. Granted, cameras available. Cameras is not MP10 cameras. Controller set to this. Okay. Mhm. Okay. Let it be. As of now, uh, okay, yes, wait. Let me start this again. It's not taking any value. See, this is the snack bar that we have put in here. This the snack bar is getting shown here whenever I'm not selecting any image. There is some issue with the camera. I am not able to figure out at this point what is the exact issue. We'll I'll get back to this later. If you want to test your application on your Android phone, I'm not talking about iOS. If you want to test it on your Android phone, you can build your APK file. Now, what is an APK file? It is an Android package. Like it is a file which you can install in your download on your phone, and it will consist this entire, like, it will package the entire app in that file. And if you can have that file on your device, then you can directly open the app in your Android device. So let's create that Flutter. Just type in that command on your terminal. Write Flutter build apk in release and press enter. It will build the app and it will take some time, and it will build the app. It will generate a file in your output directory. Basically, in your this is your uh, file, right? Your application. There inside your build, inside your app, inside your outputs, inside your APK. No, not APK. Flutter APK. Yeah, here you'll file that file will be created in some time. So let it build that part. Till then, does anyone have any doubt? You can put it in the chat box, or do you want me to repeat anything? Okay, so my APK has been built. Let's see, yes. So what is this directory? In your app, this is your app. Inside your app, you will find a build. This is uh, this is my app. Is my screen visible? Yeah. So this is my app. Inside my app, you will find a build directory, a build folder. Go inside that. Basically, this app has been built there. So So inside a build folder, go to app, go inside your outputs. Inside your outputs, you'll find a folder named Flutter APK. Go inside that, and whatever release.apk you find, this is a shareable file. It is of 21 MB approximately. So you can copy it and you can share it in your, let's say, if you want to share it via WhatsApp, you can do that. You can test it yourself. Just copy and paste it in a WhatsApp and you can share it. I just pasted in the chat box as well. Yes, I'm sharing it. Command was flutter build apk dash dash release. Try this out. We'll take a 5 minutes break here. Let's take a 5 minutes break over here. I just shared the APK file in the WhatsApp group. You guys can check it. I hope everyone try to create their own APK file. Try it yourself. And also, meanwhile, I tried that camera ka issue. So basically, there was one step that I missed while initializing the camera. Yeah. So basically, what I did was I hadn't called the initialize function over here. That is, if the camera is selected, that is, I have an available camera and it has taken the value, but I haven't initialized it here. Like this was the main step that I actually, I think, missed out. So we had to initialize it. The camera controller needs to be initialized, and then only we will be able to access the camera. So here, now when I tap on my camera, see, I'm getting this dummy camera view in the emulator, and when I press capture, it captures the image. Now let me ask Gemini what it can see. Let's see what it describes this image as. Oh, by the way, my screen is visible for everyone, right? Okay. Okay. See, now it has given me some response. I see a room with a large checkerboard on the ceiling. Checkerboard on the ceiling. Okay, doesn't seem like it. The checkerboard is made of black and white squares and it seems to be floating in the air. There is a green square in the center of the checkerboard. The room is otherwise empty except for a few bookshelves on one wall, which is right. There is bookshelf. Then the door is open. There is a bright light coming from outside. The room is very bright and it seems to be daytime. Okay, almost correct. It missed out that kitty. We also have a kitty over here, but okay. Um, 60% accurate, maybe 50%, 60% accurate. So yeah, now let's see if it takes this. Let's pass this. Okay, yeah, it contains ricin. Yeah, okay. So it is giving me right answers, I suppose. And okay, by the way, in user, you can also type in your name here. If you type in your name here, I think, okay, never mind. You can type your name there. My name won't, it will disrupt the UI, I feel. So I won't do anything. So my text and image prompt is pretty much working. The only thing is we are not using state management here. What state management will do is it will store your state even in like in the app, even if you change your tabs. But as of now, we are not using state management over here. So if I shift to any other page, my whatever state or data was on the previous screen, it will be disposed. It will be erased from the app. So if you want to take this project ahead, you can explore your state management part in this app. Um, Other than that, I think also you can using state management, you can also implement themes. that is your dark and light themes, you can, the concept that it uses is state management over there. You have to store the state over there of the application. So this is pretty much the structure. Now, uh, we still have some time, so let's quickly create a splash screen. It won't take much time, so I'll just paste it here. I'll just create it here only. I don't want to increase the file size. Like, I don't want to create another folder for the file for that. Let's make the splash screen pretty quickly. Meanwhile, you can do one thing. Uh, I had kept this here. Yeah, you can go to this link and copy paste this. Oh wait, I'll just share this. This doc contains 3 links. You can go for the second and the third link. I have already downloaded that in my downloads. So these I'll be using in my assets. I'll be copying them in my assets here. Okay. Take 2 minutes to download it and put it in your assets. Then we'll proceed. Has everyone downloaded those 2 images? This will be one image and this will be the other image. Did you find this? Is someone still downloading it? Then raise your hand. I'll wait. Otherwise, I'll proceed. So I guess there's no one who's still working on downloading the image. So let's proceed and let's complete this. Okay. So in my main file itself, I'm going to design my splash screen. So my splash screen is going to be a stateful type of widget. So just type SDF and you'll be suggested to use this. Click that, type in splash screen. The name of this class will be splash screen, which will be extending the stateful widget. Okay. So here, um, let's put in the logic first. Okay. Remember we used init state to add certain widget inside the widget tree. So we are going to use that again. So first type override. Then the init state method is of void type. So init state, the S will be capital, camel casing. Init state. Inside the init state, we'll first call the super constructor, super dot init state, put a semicolon, and then we are going to use a timer widget. So what I aim is this splash screen that is going to get shown on my screen, the it will be displayed only for a certain duration. Okay, so this is what we are going to follow. This I use timer, so we are going to use something like this. We are going to set a duration for, let's say, 3 seconds, and then after 3 seconds, it will navigate me to the tabs wala this initial home page or initial screen that we are seeing. After the splash screen, it will automatically navigate me to this screen. So let's do that. So inside the timer, let's place a const duration, and inside the duration we'll have seconds. Let's say it's 3 seconds, and after 3 seconds, what it's going to do is it will navigate me to another screen. So we are going to use navigator dot of context and it will be navigated to home page. See, home page. It will navigate me to the home page. Oh, I'm so sorry. My bad. We are going to use material page route. Material. Uh, okay. So we are using navigator dot push replacement. It will replace my splash screen. Push replacement. So it will replace the current route of the navigator to the next screen. Okay. So now it will take a context value and this route will be initialized with material page route. Inside the material page route, the builder will contain the context, and that context will be my homepage. My homepage. Okay, so this is done. The logic part of this splash screen is only this much, that we are going to set a timer inside my init state, that is going to add my widget inside the widget tree. And as usual, in the return, we are going to use scaffold. Scaffold is, I feel, the most widely used widget so far. So inside the scaffold, we are directly going to talk about body. Inside the body, we are going to use the stack layout that we had talked about on the very first day in the basics, uh, basics of Flutter. So here, stack is again going to act like your children or your column or row. It is going to take children values. Inside the children, I am going to create one container. And inside this container, again, I'm going to use height and width. I'm going to set it as your media query, like the entire device length and device width will be taken. So use media query dot of context again, of context dot size dot height. Okay, the height has been set. Similarly, we are going to set the width. Just select height here and replace it, Control D. So replace it with width. Okay, my height and width has been set. Now let's give a color. Let's set it to colors.black. I want everyone to select this 87. Okay, my color is black 87, and I'll be using this image in my splash screen. Okay, um, so my container is going to take the entire screen width and screen height. It is entirely going to cover my screen, my device screen. And this is the first child of the stack, so it is going to be at the bottom. The bottommost element is going to be the container. Okay. Next, we are going to use an image.asset, and inside that, we are going to give the path. Now, remember, whenever you are using images, you need to mention that in your pubspec.yaml. I had mentioned it earlier as well. यहाँ पे डालो and the path has to be mentioned here. Then only you can use it inside your Flutter project. So I had already done it before because कल हमने जो बनाया था उसमें circular avatar जो use किया था, we had used this image there. For that I had already done that. Set the assets in my pubspec.yaml. So again today we are going to use it, and here put the path इस image का part. It is in assets and इसका full name is google gemini.png. google gemini.png. Okay, and we can also set the height and width here. Height will be 500, width will also be 500, and let's fit property. We're going to fit it box fit dot cover. Net. I'm sorry about my net. There's something wrong with my net today. Let's quickly finish it. We are almost there. Sorry about that, guys. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Okay. So where we left was this part where we were actually passing the image path. So we are just going to put it inside my box fit box fit widget, covering it entirely. Whatever space it gets will. Um, so my image is done. Okay, let's wrap it with center. Okay, so this is done, and another thing that we require is we are going to show a circular loader. So let's pass in a circular loader progress indicator. Okay, so let's instead of passing the home page here, let's pass the splash screen. Pass the splash screen here. So what it'll do, the initial page will be the splash screen. After the splash screen is done, it will navigate you to the home page. That is this. So let's run my emulator. I stopped it. So again, to summarize what I did in the splash screen is basically I created one class which will be of stateful widget. And the only logic that we have written here is whenever we are calling or invoking the init state, we are going to put a timer over there. And here we are taking a 3 seconds ka duration. So for 3 seconds, my splash screen will be displayed on the screen, initial screen. On my home property, the initial screen will be my splash screen. And after that, after 3 seconds, when the 3 seconds are completed, it will navigate me to the home page screen. That is this, the tab bar wala screen. Okay, so it's still launching. And then what are we going to see? Basically, we have used a stack in the body. So the bottommost element is going to be a container which will contain the entire screen's height and width. And the container's color is set to black 87 for a reason, because the image that I'm going to use, that background color uh, is almost uh, this black color is almost same as this shade of black that we're using here. It is not shade, it is the transparency. Okay, so the bottommost element is going to be this container, which is going to contain the entire screen. Over that, we are going to place our this image, which I have used image.asset, where I have passed in the path, the height and width has been given, and we have used box fit.cover to cover the entire available space for that image, and we are using a circular progress indicator. Okay, so I hope my app has been launched. Yes. Now let's quickly run this. Let's quickly run this and let's see what output we get. Splash screen का logic basically कुछ है नहीं. It is just a temporary screen that will be shown. We could have used animations, but due to time constraint, I thought maybe it's not a good idea to go for the animation. Okay, now it's going to launch. Let's see what it gives us. सो एक कंटेनर होगा, उसके ऊपर इमेज आएगा, उसके ऊपर सर्कुलर प्रोग्रेस इंडिकेटर शो होना चाहिए. This should be displayed on the screen. Okay, so now my circular indicator कहीं तो ऊपर था. I have to position it. I have let's keep it at let's wrap this with not center. Let's wrap this with a widget named align. So here we can align it as the widget name suggests. We can pass in an alignment property. Inside the alignment property, we can align it at bottom center. It's at bottom center, and let's again wrap this align with some, let's give it some padding. Let's give it some padding, and let's only, okay, let's set it for all. Let's give 100 padding. Let's see. Let's restart it. See, my initial splash screen, and then we are navigated to this screen. Okay, so this was the normal splash screen, and we can also select, like we can set a theme here. Let's comment out this. Inside the theme data, we can also put brightness. Basically, I want to show you how we can go for the dark mode. Brightness dot dark, and let's set the color scheme to color scheme dot dark. Okay, let's restart it. Let's see what we get. Okay, this doesn't look good. So let's change the part. Let's go for the next image, that is Gemini slash underscore JPG. Let me comment out this and assets Gemini slash dot JPG. Okay, cool. Now restart it. Okay, we have used cover. Let's not use cover there. Let's use contain. Please restart. See, I think this looks much better. And we can type in our prompts. Yes, it is working pretty good. It's working pretty fine. See, everything is fine. So it's up to you, whatever mode or whatever theme you want to choose. This was just an example. So I hope, and this concludes the entire application. You can again build your Flutter app APK. The command was already shared on the chat. That is Flutter space build space APK space double dash release. So it will create your Flutter APK file, which you can share with everyone. You can share it with your friends. Yes, you can share it with your friends. You can tell them that you have built this project, and you can also add this to your resume because
Hello, guys. Sorry, she's facing a little bit of network issues, and I think now that we have come to an end, it's fine. Thank you for waiting here for so long. Till 10:30, and then completing all the projects. If you have any queries, please go ahead, put them in the chat box. Preferably put them on WhatsApp so that everyone can clear out your doubts, because Devangna's network is a bit fluctuating, so it's a little difficult for her right now to clear out your doubts. Devangna, I am not sure, but I think your voice is still breaking. So if you can hear me, just try to rejoin the meet again. Maybe that will help. Um, yeah, she told me that she won't be able to join right now because of network issues. But then, now that we've come to an end for this session, thank you everyone for attending today's session, and your determination to attend the session till the very end has been very great. Thank you everyone for making this workshop a success. And I hope that you have learned a lot and you will be taking away at least the basic knowledge of both Gemini and Flutter, and will be inculcating that in your projects that are going to come further on. And at the end, all I'll say is that you can use this knowledge to uh, actually submit a project under Google Solution Challenge. I am sure I've talked about it a lot by now, and you must have heard a lot about it from me, but I'll say it again, just a little bit of intro about it. Google Solutions Challenge is a global level hackathon. You have to register individually first, and then a team registration if you're participating with your team. Even if you aren't, you have to register with your team, with at least for yourself, and submit a project under it. The last date for the submissions of project is 21st of February, and I hope to see a lot of you in large numbers participating and submitting projects under Google Solutions Challenge. And this entire session was conducted so that we could help you learn a Google technology as well as submit a project under it. The major focus this year for Google Solution Challenge is Android and AIML. And now that we have covered Android, I hope that everyone here will be at least participating for this particular session. So thank you everyone. Just a last request before you all leave uh, for this. Just submit the feedback form that will help us to improve, as well as help us to make sure that you receive your certificates for this particular workshop. Thank you everyone. Thank you Devangana. It was an amazing session. So a virtual clap for all of you, not just Devangana, but for everyone here. Thank you everyone for attending today's session and making this entire workshop a success. Thank you. Have a good night and a great day tomorrow. Also, if you have any doubts, please put them in either the chat section or on WhatsApp.